Great day, YouTube. It's Ray from Artisan LLC, and today I have a tutorial for you. This one is for the beginner, and this is going to be a text design, creating a text design using Adobe Illustrator. So all you'll need for this tutorial to work with me is access to Adobe Illustrator. I'm using the Creative Cloud version. So once you open your Adobe Illustrator, this should be the screen that comes up, okay, or something like it. Now we want to create a new document by clicking New File. So on my far right-hand side, here are the presets that I've already used in the past. I pretty much keep the same ones, and I just go from there. But if that doesn't work for you, for what you want to design, you can always change the dimensions, change the color modes and the PPIs, or you can select from some of the presets here and go with that. So I'm going to keep what I have and hit create. Now once I hit create, what opens is my workspace. This is my canvas and this is my artboard. Okay, so here we go. First things first, to create a text, you got to click on the type tool. And just for your own information, if you hover over any of these tools, Adobe will tell you exactly what they are. So I'm going to click on the type tool, left click onto my artboard, and type what I want on there. All right. Now I'm going to deselect by selecting the selection tool. And then I'm going to make this bigger, holding down my shift key and dragging it out like that. By default, Myriad Pro is the font type, but that's not what I want. I want to change the font type. So I'm going to go here, up here in my control panel, and I'm going to click this down arrow. So I'm going to select underground. Now that I have my font style selected, what I want to do next is I want to add some more text to this design. Now there's a couple ways you can do it, but this is the way I want to show you. I'm going to duplicate this first by holding down my Option key and then dragging down. Now I'm using Mac, so it's the Option key for me. If you're using Windows, I'm not sure what key it is for you, but if you want to duplicate something, you can always go Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. Okay? So here, I'm going to triple click on this text. Sorry, make sure it's triple, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to type what I want to say next. Okay, now I'm going to deselect. All right, so the first text is artisan. The second one is a creative. Well, I want this to be smaller and different from artisan. So I'm going to start with the font style. I want to change it. So I'm going to go back up here. You see, because I chose underground the first time, I duplicated it and double clicked. It automatically remembered what I used beforehand and so that's what font style was given when I typed in my new text. Well, I want to change that. And so this time I'm going to use the sign painter. Okay. Well, I'm not done yet. So I want to add some more text. So I'm going to repeat what I did the first time. Hold down Option and drag down. Again, if you're using Windows and you do not know what is the shortcut key for duplicating, then you go up here to Edit, hit Copy, Edit, hit Paste. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to what? What did we do when we did change the font here? We triple clicked. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm going to type my next text. Okay, now I'm going to deselect the type key by selecting the selection key. And again, I want to make a change. I want to change this font as well. So remember what I did before, but I want something different. So I'm going to choose something different. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you this part too. The reason why everything I want is sitting here up top in Resize is because I've done this before. You know, I've used these. That's why they're there. You may have to scroll through and find something you like, but I did it before, so I have it sitting there. I want artisan to be more pronounced, so I'm going to make it bigger. I'll make it taller, and I'll make it wider, and I can click on these nodes to do so, just around this bounding box, or I can go over to properties and change the height and the width here manually. Okay, not necessary for me at this point. I'll tell you about that another time. But I'll make this a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. So you see, you can still change the size. Now, if you need to be more precise, then you go ahead and you put the numbers in here. So, okay. Now I want a creative and with swag to be on the same line. I want them both to line up underneath artisan. Okay, so I'm just going to move this over, move this over. I'm just squeezing them in. But now doing that, excuse me, I'm not sure if they're even aligned or the same height. So all we want them to be is, all I want is for them to be completely underneath artisan, but within the same dimensions. So let's cut on our rulers. Go to View, scroll down to Rulers, Show Rulers. Now from Rulers, we're going to select Guides. No, I don't want that one. I'm going to go to the end of artisan and the beginning and the end of artisan. Now I want a creative with swag to line up within this within these guides. Okay, I'm clicking on them. I'm going to move this in just using my arrow key. Now I know it's completely in there. And I'm going to grab this guy and I'm just trying to get it as close to that blue ruler guideline as possible. Perfect. Now what I want to do is create guidelines for the height and the bottom of for the top and the bottom of this particular line. So I'm going to grab some more guidelines, and I'm going to use the tallest of both texts. So okay, so the tallest is with swag has the is the tallest. So I'm going to select, leave it there, let it go, and it's probably going to who's at the bottom. Okay, so a creative is that will determine the bottom line. You see what I'm doing? So now I want to make sure that all of these texts are lining up the top and bottom. So I'm doing this manually. Okay. Okay. And I'm liking what I see. Now I'm just trying to make sure that okay, I'm going to click on Artisan, and I'm just going to drag it down just a little bit. I think I want it closer. Yeah, it could be bigger too. I'm all right with that. Now, boom. So that's how I want it to look. Artisan, a creative with swag. That's me, baby. That's me. Okay. Now at this point, whatever, if you're using what I'm using and typing what I'm typing, or if you're doing your own, at this point you need to decide, are you okay with the way it looks? If not, then play around with it a little bit more. If you don't like the font, go back up there. This is the time. Click on whatever font you don't like. Go back up here and change it. This is the time, because the next step, we're not going to be able to do that after this. Because so what we're getting ready to do next. Okay? So this is the time to make any changes on the text as far as the font style. Do that right now. If you like it, let's move on. This is text. What we need this to be is an object. Reason why? I want to make this a compound path and export this design out as an SVG. That's a vector file. So let's turn these into objects. The way to do that, click on Artisan, go up here to your menu bar, click on Type, come down to Create Outlines. If you go over here to your menu, to your layers, this is no longer saying Artisan. I'm going to show you this so you'll just understand going forward. These are now, every letter in Artisan is now a compound path, an individual compound path. And that's not what I want, but I'm just showing this to you this time so you would understand what's going on. Once you turn it into an object, it's either going to be a path or a compound path. I need the whole group, all these letters in Artisan, to flatten and become one. So my next step is to go up here. Now that I've turned them into an object, I'm not going back to type. I'm going to object, and I'm going to go down here to compound path and hit make. Now this is flattened, and it is now a compound path, the whole word. I can go up here and select the black for my fill color. In case you don't know the difference, this is a fill color, this is a stroke color. Right now the stroke is turned off. If I turn it on by selecting the color, the stroke works like an outline around the fill. See there? See the green around there? Okay. So now you know what that is, but I'm going to cut it back off because I don't want that. Okay. What did I do? Oh. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the rest of the font. Turn it into an object and then a compound path, so it's not individual compound paths. I want it flattened and I want it to be just one. I have my fill color, no stroke, and that's that. Okay. So if you go over here, all you see is what used to say artisan, a creative with swag is now saying compound. And it's shortened here. That's why you see it says compound path. These are all compound paths now. Okay. And yeah, so I like the way this is looking. Make sure that everything is saved. I've done everything I wanted to do at this point in this particular software. And so that's it. That's the design, and that's what I will export. So I hope this helped for those who are interested in diving into Adobe Illustrator. I say quit thinking about it and just do it. Until next time, you guys, you have a great, great design time. All right? Thank you.